Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. We have a list of 20 properties today coming off the weekend, and it's at that point. Now, I'll tell you, I've been in the business for 12 years. I've never seen a market like 2015 in terms of the speed and just, how everything is moving. Now, what that means to you is that there's a high likelihood that if you're buying a house, you will be competing with other buyers. And so there's a lot of ways to be unsafe and also to keep yourself safe. The last probably 10 offers I've been in have all been in competition. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to overpay. I have people that say, well, I don't want to compete with another buyer. And what I always joke back is, okay, so you only want homes that other people don't want. You can still pay fair price being in competition. However, I believe that for a lot of these homes, if you're buying a home now compared to even 30 or 60 days from now, by the time you move in, your house is going to be worth $10,000 more. That's the state that we're in right now. So even if it means that you overpay by a couple $1,000s, you might be thankful of that, given an escalating market. So that's just the reality. If you have any questions, give us a call. That's not designed to scare you, but it's designed to tell you the truth, is that you may lose one or two along the way to finding a great house. And you may have to step away sometimes from a house that you really like because the water gets too hot. So anyway, a couple of the ones from today's list were even gone over the weekend. If you want us to really keep our eyes open and to set you up on some daily emails, just reach out to us. Let us know what you're looking for. And for a lot of these properties, speed matters. It definitely matters. And having a team of 4 licensed agents here, all watching, there's a much higher chance that you're not going to miss anything. We've had a few clients that have come to us after working with other people, and they've remarked how quickly we respond to new listings and getting them out to see stuff. Okay, anyway, let's get started. So Wilson, great example. Robert and Allison, congratulations, because they were the winners of the competitive offer situation on this one. Now, very interesting environment right now for condo townhouses. The last couple that I've been involved in have been 5+ offers. And so there was one at 741 Woodward that sold in the 260s in the last 30 to 60 days. And now at the same time, there's another one that was listed for 325, really the same floor plan as this one and the other one, in much better shape. Got an offer pretty quick. So the point is that these homes are in a position where very quickly, especially when the sales start getting reported, I have some inside information, I know some of the agents, we're going to start to see rapid increases, and there will be very few of these that will still remain with the first number being a 2. We're looking at pretty consistently now, these condo towns are going to be up in the 3s. Now, 1380 Costigan number 16, 339. I mean, the last couple of sales have been 350, 360. So I know that these guys are definitely positioning this one for competition purposefully. And I think if you got it anywhere around that 350 mark, you'd probably be smiling. So that's another example. You pay more than asking, but if you get a good deal, you know that from the research. And that's what it comes down to. It's not how much you knock off the asking price. It's how does this one, how's the price on this one sit compared to what else is sold in the building. That's all that matters, is that what are similar homes going for and how close can I get to that number. So it's a 3-bedroom. There's 2 full washrooms upstairs plus a laundry. And so these are a stacked type of townhouse. So you've got main floor. Well, you've got a couple stairs. This is the unit plus the second floor. And then on this level, you actually have a main plus a basement. So there's actually 4 levels. That's why they're called stacked townhouses. It's a great deal at this price or anywhere near this price. McDowell and Bernard are actually 2 streets that had the first versions of these 3-story village townhouses. I think the first one I sold was like $210,000 when I moved to Milton about 10 years ago. So quite a substantial jump in price. This one's on the corner and faces a whole bunch of green space. You can also walk to Hawthorne Village Public School, Guardian Angels. Even though this one doesn't have a backyard, the fact that it has green space directly adjacent. You could even watch the kids play out there, and it works better if you have dogs and so on. Now this one's getting close to the age where it probably needs new roof, like it's past the 10-year mark, which is why typically they sell for a bit less. That park is probably a premium, but I still think these guys are aiming a little bit high compared to what else is sold. And if you're talking about homes that are a half to a quarter of this age, they just have much more economic life on furnaces, roofs, and so on. So it's a good home. I like it. You're going to come in and find that the age definitely reflects. So we'll see what happens with it. Now, I knew this one on Hasselfeld would go. It's 1130 square feet. There's just kind of one big room here, plus the kitchen. Upstairs, 3 bedrooms, plus 1 full bathroom. But same thing, townhouses with a backyard. It's very hard to find the first number be a 3 these days. The condo towns have drifted into the 3s. A lot of these homes have drifted into the 4s. If you paid $400,000 for this home, you're still doing well given what else has happened recently with this model in particular. A couple good deals in Dorset Park. This one at 584 Woodward. Woodward's a bit of a busier street, but the price point, $439, anything under $450 in this neighborhood attracts a lot of attention. Even with something like this, could you replace the handles and paint the cupboards, and then you replace the countertop, do a new backsplash and new appliances, you have a pretty nice looking kitchen. So pictures are a little bit dark. Even something like this, there's you could actually reglaze a bathtub and the tiles, make it nice and white, crisp, clean. I think it's a better look than like a bath fitter. Even bath fitters, I would find that you could actually if everything's good structure wise there, for $1,000 you could do a lot with that bathtub. Rip the wallpaper down. So what I'm saying is there are a lot of inexpensive, or relatively compared to the price of the home and the impact that it could create on value, there are some relatively inexpensive things that you can do in a home that would substantially increase its appeal. So anyway, even I could go in here, probably do 20 grand and give it a complete overhaul, and we'd have a house that's probably worth somewhere in the high 4s. If I had a little bit more of a budget, I could probably creep it past 5 if I had 30 or 40. So either way, it's a good investment if you can scoop it at this price. These homes right at the end of Andrews Trail really haven't had a lot of sales history. There was one that came out, they took it off the market before it sold after a couple weeks. It's 2,100 square feet, single car garage, 2-car parking in the driveway, train tracks right behind, and you can see Thompson just off in the distance. So the location has some interesting factors that could contribute. Typically, a location like that is certainly not in the A category. It would be a B or a C, depending on who the buyer is. But the size of this townhouse looks pretty good. And so I've done the research. I've tried to look at, okay, if it wasn't like a 3-story, how much would a 2,100 square foot townhouse go for? The record-breaking townhouse was about 3,000 square feet of total living space, up in the 560s. So you're $70,000 less than that, which would accommodate for, and then you start knocking square footage off. Bottom line is, from the different angles I can look at this, I think that they're in the right range at a 489 number. It's not too bad of a lot size. I'm not sure how it actually orients, if it goes straight back or where it is, but that's Thompson right there, train tracks. So if you don't mind a bit of noise, you've got some good living space. We've got a nicely renovated home on Edison Court, 519. If you can't get a 2-car or a double garage, the next best thing is 2 cars side by side. And so completely open inside, which is good. You don't see that often in these homes. Not sure how much storage space is in the kitchen, but the rest of it looks pretty good. Looks like they've put a lot of money into it. This is, like, for the price difference for this one, it's $80,000 different than Woodward. I would say the street location is probably 10 to 20 premium. Being on Edison Court, it's a great street hockey street. It's got a little cul-de-sac at the end. Maybe more depending on the buyer, but even if we said a $50,000 or $60,000 difference, this is an example of what you could do if you had the budget for, I think, far less than 50 or 60 to turn the other one into something good. Next up is this one on Racy Trail. Now it faces Bonin, and then you've got the townhouses on Bonin, which create a pretty solid wall. Behind those townhouses is the train tracks. So I had a client who asked me about this one, and they said, can you hear the train? Well, you can hear the train, but there's a lot of places in Milton you can hear the train. Those townhouses do create a pretty good sound barrier. They have a bunch of scrap wood in their backyard. Probably would have been a good idea to clean that up. It is a big home though. It's about 2,100 square feet. The finishes are probably not something that most buyers would really love. The trim on here, you've got a bit of an odd backsplash. Countertop and cabinets are probably not people's favorite. If I were to, survey people who are looking for homes right now, very few of them would say that's exactly what I'm looking for. And given the fact that this is, up around the 530 mark, the size will do it. It's just a question of finishes and how people feel about it. I like the landscaping here. They've done a good job on the corner. So let's see what happens. I'm probably going to go check this one out in the next day or two. I saw Giddings on the weekend, 557.9. I think there were a couple of offers on it last night. Same story. That's the theme for today's episode. If you had to punch holes in this one, you could say it doesn't have 9-foot ceilings and it's close to the train tracks, but it is done very well. It's extremely clean and tidy, and it's got a really nice open concept kitchen, eat-in, and then family room here. It actually shows really well. 4 bedrooms upstairs plus a little office nook. There's the hardwood stairs. Lots of window space coming into the stairs and also the common areas. So it really creates a lot of light in here. There's the little office nook. And everything's just set up well. There's a little balcony walkout, a little bit of landscaping in the back. And very well priced. Wouldn't be surprised if I saw this one land somewhere around probably the 570 mark, given what else is sold for the size and the quality of finishes. My pick of the day is this one on Chambers. Chambers is the kind of street where they have golf tournaments, street parties. It's very isolated, it's very quiet, and it's one of the best streets in the area. 868 last sale. I think we saw this model, the Tothberg, at 31 square feet, was around 830, happened real fast. And so this one has a finished basement on top of that. I like the finishes even a little bit better. The waffle ceiling. This is an impressive home. And you could argue that if you have a 3,300 square feet home, do you really need a finished basement on top? So it's interesting to look at how much premium that adds. Some of these are wide open here. I do like the half wall because now you've got an extra wall that you can put a couch against, but it still has that feeling of openness. Very nicely done. One of the best ones I've seen in a while. It's got a fantastic floor plan. There's a little den upstairs plus 4 bedrooms. And top to bottom, this one looks like there's a ton of pride of ownership. Lots of really nice woodwork. Bit of a kitchen downstairs. Interlock front walkway. Really, really, really nice. And I wouldn't be surprised if this one's already sold and it's sold for more. Now we're over on the Oakville Milton list. Old Milton is hitting home runs today. 341 Williams is right by the Milton District High School. So don't see them come up very often. This is a very low turnover area. We've got a bungalow on a 63 by 145 foot lot. So in terms of doing additions, you have the kind of lot size that you could easily add probably a 300 or 400 square foot addition on the back. Wonderful lot and a well upgraded home. This is the kind of place that a lot of buyers are looking for. Renovated home, appearing to be move-in ready, plus a large lot. You just can't go wrong. And so there is a bit of a premium attached to a home like this. Yeah, awesome stuff. There's the basement. Now, you never know how these homes look in person, right? I mean, I've looked at some pictures before and thought, okay, let's see what it looks like inside. But if what we're going by is first impressions, this one is awesome, and the price looks great at $519 too. So this one, in addition to the Tothberg we just talked about, this is probably tied for pick of the day now that I think of it. Last one's in Carlisle. We have 1.2 million basically. Now, as soon as you got to Carlisle, Kilbride, some of the country communities just outside of Milton, you're now in Hamilton territory, and your taxes go up quite a bit. You could be in Burlington, so there's a little bit of a transition area west of town. Look at your taxes, $13,500 for something like this. That's a lot of money. That's over $1,000 a month in property taxes. Now, the reason we put this one in, it's not Milton proper, but it has the thing that we at Milton Daily Homes really like, which is, I'm waiting for the big reveal here, kitchen probably needs a little bit of work. There you go. Indoor pool. Gotta love it. Awesome stuff. You could throw some pretty rockin' parties in this house. Not that I've thrown a party any more frequent than probably once a year in my own house, but nice stuff. I mean, I just think about how great it would be to swim in a pool 12 months a year versus a Canadian summer, which if you're lucky is probably 3 months. That's pretty sweet. And I love how there's the look down from the second floor. So bathroom looks good. They probably would have been well served to spend a bit of money in the kitchen from how it looks. Kitchen is always the most important room in the house. And that's it. So there's your day. $75,000 deposit. People ask about the deposit. Last comment before we wrap up today's episode. That is a guide point. That's something that really the agent throws a number in there. Most of the time they try and hit about 5% of the purchase price, but if you came in with less than that, I don't feel like you would lose the deal if everything else was in the seller's best interest. So that's just a guidepost. If you didn't have that deposit, I've seen many deals that work out just fine without that much. All right, that's the day. Nice list. Very nice list. A lot of good ones in Old Milton. And if you want to see anything in today's list, definitely reach out to us, 905-693-9346. Have a great day.